Hey guys, what's up? IrishEmerald here, and welcome to Season 2 of the third Dimension League, or the TDL for short. For you guys who are new or haven't really seen this on my channel before, this is basically a draft-based league for Pokemon. So most people are very familiar with it, but as you know, we had this. We were in Season 1 of the TDL. And we are back. Your Wexford Wailords, which is our team on this channel, are back for Season 2. And we're hopeful that we're going to progress further than what we did last season. So, if you guys are psyched to see what this video is about for the upcoming Season 2, and of course for our draft analysis for the Pokemon we drafted, please smash the like button down below for me. And of course, if you want to see more TDL action coming your way, please click that subscribe button as well. I'll do a quick explanation as to what this is. So, for anybody that's new, a draft-based league is essentially players or coaches in this instance get to select Pokemon from a list of Pokemon. There's a few banned, but it's basically just an open set. Some leagues do point systems where a certain amount of Pokemon cost a certain amount of points, but not in this league. We have 16 coaches. Each coach is basically like a fantasy draft. If you guys know that, you basically draft each Pokemon. You pick it, and then of course each round of the draft you get to pick another one. We normally do a snake style draft, so we go all the way to the end, and then whoever gets the last pick in round 1 gets the first pick in round 2, and vice versa all the way until each team has picked 11 Pokemon. That is basically it. Then we go into the regular season. We are split up into 2 conferences. We have to play 12 weeks. And of course, the top 4 from each conference make it into playoffs, where it is do or die at that point. The last team standing who manages to not be defeated wins the overall season. For you guys interested, your Wexford Wailords made it to the playoffs last season, but we did manage to be defeated in the first round of the playoffs. Unfortunately, so please definitely go back and check it out on the channel. It was a really good battle. And hopefully we can progress further this season in the TDL, and we can actually, make it to the semi-finals or something like that. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to quickly go through some of the other rules in the TDL. So for Season 2, so the draft style is a free draft with no tiers, following GBA Season 7 rules. So if you guys are familiar with this type of draft, you guys will know that the GBA or the draft format, you guys will know that the GBA, the Global Battle Association, first came up with it. We are following their kind of rule set for Season 7, where it was just an open style draft. There's no point system or anything like that. It's basically you can go in, pick whatever Pokemon you want, and then it'd be the next person's pick after that. Of course, there's a few Pokemon that are banned. Mega Metagross was banned. I believe Mega Mawile was banned. All that kind of fun stuff. Speaking of the Megas, released Mega Pokemon are available to draft, except for Mega Mewtwo X and Y, Mega Metagross, and Mega Mawile. So every other Mega that has been released in Pokemon Sun and Moon is available for this draft. I should also mention at this point that the this season is a DS league, so all battles will be played on a DS and will be uploaded to this channel. So definitely keep an eye out for those. I will talk more about that later on. The next point is that only one Pokemon from your draft, so like our draft, can be selected to use Z moves. So Gen 7 brought in Z moves. We only allowed to have one Pokemon that's allowed to use that, and this Pokemon is essentially what we call a Z captain. So expect like that Pokemon to always maybe carry a Z move. It doesn't have to. It can carry another item, but it is the only Pokemon that is allowed to use a Z move. Players must Mega Evolve their Mega Pokemon the first turn that Pokemon performs a move. So you can't just stay in and Mega Evolve when you wish. You have to Mega Evolve the first turn you perform a move, because Pokemon change abilities and stats and whatever. And last but not least, as I said, the teams are divided into 2 conferences, and the top 4 teams from each conference make playoffs. 12-week regular season, and hopefully we will do well. Our conference is stacked, right? I believe we are in the Sun Conference. I have that name correct. But our conference is stacked. We have 4 out of the 6 coaches that made playoffs in Season 1 are in our conference. That's including ourselves. And of course, out of those 4, 2 of those coaches were top seeds, and those same 2 coaches made the finals. So definitely a very stacked conference, what's it called, that we're in, based off last season's standings. But we have new coaches this season, and it'd be very interesting to see what they are going to bring to the table. Right, without further ado, let's discuss our draft. I'm not going to lie, we had a very nice, we landed very nicely in the draft order. We got a 4th pick. Now, obviously, that meant that we couldn't get the likes of Migirna, which, you know, is available. It is legal. And we couldn't get the likes of Tapu Lele, which is also available. You know, we won't get into that because that's the polarizing topic of debate. But we did have a few other options, and I decided this season to go with an old favourite, a very old favourite when it comes to draft formats. If you guys have been around this channel from pretty much the beginning, you guys will know this Pokemon like the back of your hand. He is near and dear to my heart, and that Pokemon is Starman the Jirachi. So Jirachi for us has been our first round pick. I absolutely adore this Pokemon, and Jirachi was the Pokemon that led us to the only final appearance in a draft league that we have ever had in this final. He led the way. He caused absolute havoc when we had it before. And to be honest, I've just never really picked him again because I wanted to try out other things. But I thought this is the time we are going to bring Starman back into the fold, back as a Wailords. He's nearly a Wailords Hall of Famer at this point. I think he just needs to get us the league title, and then he will be a Hall of Famer for us. So he's a round 1 pick. The reason why I picked this as round 1, not only because I'm so familiar with this Pokemon, it's also a very good counter for the amount of fairies that are now evident on the, that are now evident when it comes to these draft styles. It can kind of come in on a couple of hits from Tapu Lele. It's a great Migirna counter. It can deal with Tapu Koko. It can deal with Tapu Bulu. It can deal with Tapu Fini. And those being some very high-end threats, knocking around different teams, Jirachi can come in and just deal with them very nicely. But not only that, we have a lot of ways to use Jirachi because it's very versatile. And that was something with last season's draft that I really wanted to improve on, was the fact that we didn't really have a versatile team. We had a good team, but a lot of the times the Pokemon weren't very versatile. So I really want to bring versatility back into our squad this season, and Jirachi is one really good way of doing that. We can run Scarf, we can run a Hacks Flinch set, which is awful when, it's such a cruel way to win a battle, but we can run it. We can run a defensive set, a special defensive set, and not only that, Jirachi is also our Z captain for your Wexford Wailords. So not only are we going to be able to be so versatile, but we can also bring the Z move to absolutely decimate an opponent's Pokemon and really hit something exceptionally hard, which is kind of needed with the base stats we have. So moving on to the base stats, we have 100 across the board in HB, attack, defense, all that kind of stuff, which means we're very good to be able to sponge in hits and being able to dish out a bit of damage. But we're not going to be great at breaking through stuff. But with the Z move, which Jirachi is going to be carrying at times, not always, it will allow us to actually really hurt things on a switch if we wanted to. And Jirachi's coverage moves are fantastic. We can run special offensive, we can run physical offensive. It really is brilliant. Our typing is pretty decent. Steel types resist so much, and Psychic is actually a really good offensive type as well. So I'm very happy with Jirachi. I think Starman is just going to be a hero for us this season, as he was way back in the day when we were in the UGBC, our very first league on the channel. And hopefully Starman can lead us into the playoffs and beyond. Hopefully, we never know. So that was our round 1 pick. A round 2 pick, I was kind of looking at how we're going to supplement Jirachi here. Well, obviously we're weak to Ghost, we're weak to Dark types, we are weak to Fire types, and also I wanted to keep get a Pokemon that's very versatile. And I think our next Pokemon definitely embodies that. Kind of does all of those things in one, and that Pokemon is Dustin the Tyranitar. So Dustin was our round 2 pick. Covers his fire weakness, Jirachi's fire weakness, covers his ghost weakness, covers his dark weakness. So it does very, very much complement Jirachi. We do have a sheer ground weakness now, but we can work on that throughout the remainder of the draft. And I am going to go through this as I was thinking about it during the draft. And on top of that, as I said, the versatility that T-Tar brings, he brings us he brings us a Pursuit Trapper, he brings us a Defensive Mon, he brings us a Stealth Rocker, so we have 2 Stealth Rockers now. He brings us a D-Dancer, he brings, I'm not too sure, I'm pretty sure he doesn't get Dragon Tail, but he brings us a Phaser. So, oh no, he does get Dragon Tail. What I meant was I don't believe he gets Swords Dance, but Dragon Dance is brilliant. So I'm not going to cry over that. But he has a Phaser as well, because T-Tar can get Dragon Tail and Roar, so we can phase Pokemon out if they try and set up in front of us. And he also has Sandstream, so it does allow us to have the Sandstorm running on our team, so we can bring a Sand team if we want, or draft the Sand team as we go along in the draft. And on top of all that, his stats are very, very good. He's got 100 base HP, which is fantastic. 134 base attack, which is exceptionally high. Euro max attack, adamant. Nobody kind of wants to come in on that on a T-Tar. As you can see by our defenses, 110 and 100 in defense and special defense is really good, particularly with the Spadef buff that we're going to get with the Sandstorm rocking around in the background. That's exceptionally good. And then 95 base special attack isn't something to be slouched on. We can run a bit of a special variant on T-Tar if needs be. The only downfall of the T-Tar is his speed, but he's so bulky and he actually gets Rock Polish and Dragon Dance that we can buff up speed if we get the right matchup on certain weeks. So definitely delighted that we brought T-Tar. I felt he covered Jirachi's weaknesses perfectly, and he brings us a lot of versatility to the squad. Next up I decided I'm going to try and piece together some sort of Steel Fairy Dragon Core. I know normally these ones kind of tend to go in the first 3 rounds, so I figured I better get myself a really good dragon as soon as I can, and a really good fairy as soon as I can, even though I was kind of worried about round 4. But a round 3 pickup, I'm very happy with this pickup. Happens to be Predator, the Garchomp. So we managed to pick up Garchomp in round 3, and for me this is actually a bit of a steal. We get a really good Pokemon that is exceptionally fast and can actually perform a couple of really good roles. We can run the bulky Tank Chop that can serve Stealth Rocks. We can run a Scarf, or we can run a Scarf variant. We can run a Banded variant, a Life Orb variant, and he's actually an exceptionally good physical wall breaker, which I'm delighted about. He has the Rough Skin ability, so if Pokemon attacks us, if we bring the Tank Chop set, they're going to be worn down. We can bring the Rocky Helmet set and we wear down Pokemon that actually want to come in and just and land a physical hit on us. We do get that Dragon type that I did wanted for our Steel Fairy Dragon Core, and we do get a Ground type to kind of help out with our with the Sand team, with the Sand Veil as well, which it can be used, but it's a little bit gimmicky. But we'll see how it may work out for us as the season goes on. Stat wise, the pretty decent. We get a exceptionally good attack stat with 130 base attack. As I said, we can run a bulky variant with 108 HP and 95 defense, which works out very well. It's very popular set. And then of course our speed is actually one of the main great things about Garchomp. We're over that base 100 speed, so we outspeed all those that plethora of base 100 Pokemon. We outspeed naturally, so they actually have to run either Choice Scarf or a speed setup move to be able to outspeed us, which I'm all for. Not only that, Garchomp gets pretty decent coverage as well. We had the Fire Blast to be able to deal with the like the Skarmories and the Ferrothorns of this world. We have a good bit of physical coverage as well. We run the Edgequake combo, which is very popular. So Garchomp for me does a lot of good roles and provides a lot of offensive pressure to any other team that we're going to be going up against. So I'm very happy that we picked up Garchomp, particularly in round 3. Our round 4 pick, as I said, I was trying to get our Steel Fairy Dragon Core going, and we did manage to pick up an exceptionally good fairy, and that fairy is Fabled the Florges. And how this thing lasted on to round 4 is beyond me, but trust me, this is not the only steal we got in this draft. But Fable the Florges is on the squad this season. Fable is so good. Florges is an exceptionally good fairy type. It's, to be honest, it's a cleric. It's an exceptionally good cleric, and it allows us to be able to bring the likes of Garchomp and T-Tar very frequently, and be able to bring the Florges and just click Wish and be able to pass in and out and not be worn down. particularly for like the T-Tar, which it will be chipped away at, and then Garchomp can come in on a wish and then be able to proceed to hurt things. It also means that we don't need Jirachi to run wish, because Jirachi can also run wish and do a wish passing set, but we'll have 2 wish passes now, which I think is fantastic. Stat wise, if you look at one half of his Fable's stats, HP stat isn't great, and of course Fable's physical stats aren't great, but as soon as you look at Fable's special stats, 112 base special attack is fantastic, and 154 base special defense is unbelievable. So we can dump a lot of investment into physical defense, just so we can sponge all types of hits. We can run Calm Mind as well, with a little bit of coverage on Florges if you wanted to do that kind of stuff. And for me, I think Florges is a great pick. It's a Pokemon that can come in, particularly with the Fairy typing, which is very powerful, come in, resist a few hits, and be able to wish pass off, become a cleric, and all that kind of stuff. The only downside to Florges is that we got to be very careful about not being setup fodder. So every week we kind of bring it in. We got to be very careful that there's not a Pokemon on the opponent's team that can use Florges as setup fodder throughout the season. But for me, I think we have a fantastic Steel Fairy Dragon Core in Jirachi, Garchomp, and Florges, and with T-Tar in the back to be able to support that combo, I think we're in really good shape as it is. Round 5 came along then, and I decided I better get my Mega. And this is kind of different for me, because normally in a draft format I pick my Mega first and then build around it, because I always like I always think building around a Mega is your best way to win, because your Mega Pokemon is going to be beastly, and it's something that you want to bring every week because it threatens so much of your opponent's team. And I didn't do that this this season. It ended up being round 5, and strangely enough, not many coaches did pick their Mega in the first round. With the likes of Magearna and Tapu Lele available nowadays. A lot of Megas went later on, and we managed to pick up our next Mega, which is, here we go, Wildfire, the Mega Charizard Y. So I'll go through my thought process with this. I had a few Megas I was thinking about. It came down to Mega Pinsir or Mega Zard Y, because for me, either or gave me a ground immunity, which would come in very handy with my team, seeing as how Jirachi and T-Tar are very, are weak to ground, and therefore being able to bring Mega Pinsir or Mega Zard Y, it gave us an immunity, and other teams couldn't come in and just spam Earthquake for the whole game. So I was very happy that we managed to pick up Zard Y at round 5. I thought that was nuts, and I was kind of going back and forth, but for me, I decided on Zard Y because fire types become slim pickings. People want to start pick up fire types, and last season we were very lucky to get Rotom Heat in the free agency in week 2, and I didn't want to be the case where we didn't have a fire type again. And I decided that not only did we get a fire type here, we got an exceptionally good special attacker, and with T-Tar and Garchomp being able to hurt so much on the physical side, and Florges mostly doing defensive support, I really wanted a really good special attacker, and boy did we get an unbelievable special attacker with Megazard Y. Stats wise, we'll run through it. We have the base 100 speed, which is kind of at that level where that decides if you're fast or not, if you're fast or slow, and being at 100 means other base 100 Pokemon do have to run max speed to outspeed us. The main stat that you guys are probably looking at here is the 159 base special attack, which is absolutely ridiculous. It means if we bring Modest and we just start fire blasting, we're going to be tearing through teams. Unless you bring the Evolite Chansey that can sponge a few of these hits, you're in big trouble. And then of course, not only do we have that, we have 104 base physical attack, which is not too bad, seeing as how we have with Zard Y, we have multiple ways to set up with the Belly Drum and the Dragon Dance on the physical side, and we got really good physical coverage with Dragon Claw, Earthquake, all that kind of stuff. So we have a really nice move pool on the special and the physical side. We can, mostly this is tailored to a special attacker, but we can run a physical variant of it if needs be, if 1 week. And I think that kind of does give us a little bit of versatility. And as I said, all the previous points, it kind of adds to our team very nicely. The last point I will make is that we do get Drought with Zard Y. So we are now a dual weather team And if you guys have seen me on my channel before, I have drafted dual weather on this channel before, and I'm looking forward to actually bringing dual weather again, and hopefully as the draft goes on we can actually build a really nice dual weather team. Let me go back to my notes here very quickly. I had it's most of this is off the cuff, but I had some notes to pick up. Right, our 6th pick, coming around to our round 6 pick, I knew that I badly needed hazard support now. And when I mean hazard support, I didn't mean another Pokemon that can set up hazards. I needed a hazard remover. And looking around, and I had a couple of options there, and I was praying this one in particular would not leave, because this one actually fitted our team very nicely. And that pick happens to be this right here. So we have Delmize, aka Shipwreck, on the squad for this season as our round 6 pick. As I said, has a remover, so Delmize does get rapid spin, and that in itself was how I came across it. And then it gave us, if we also get the ghost and the grass type here with Shipwreck, and not only but with Steelworker, it means that we also get pretty much a stab boost, so we get the same type attack bonus with our steel type moves as well. So we effectively have 3 stab moves here with Delmize, which gives us a very nice, a good bit of coverage. Stat wise, I'll go into stats first and then we'll talk about the moves it can get, because that was a bit of a concern for me. Stat wise, we get fantastic physical attack. 131 base physical attack is nuts. Like, some of our physical attackers have got nuts base physical attack. Physical defense is pretty decent, along with our special defense of 90. Our HP stat isn't great, but you know, with the other stats to complement that, this thing can really become a defensive mon and come in and be that very nice hazard remover for us. We don't get reliable recovery with Delmize, but we do have 2 wish passes, so that will come in handy for us during the season. And then of course his move pool is a little bit shallow. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit shallow. It's one of the main worries I had about Delmize. We do get the ability to trap Pokemon with the Anchor Shot and 1v1 them, but outside of Anchor Shot, Shadow Claw, and I believe it was Seed Bomb, I need to double check that, but outside that we don't really have that many physical offensive moves. And we do have a nice special move pool, but with 86 base special attack, I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to make use of that as well as we'd like. But I think Delmize Shipwreck will do very well, and it was the best option of all the remainder rapid spinners that I wanted. Well, that were available. It was the best option for me, for my team, because it gave us a grass type and it gave us a ghost type, which means that Pokemon, the opponent's team doesn't get free rapid spins off on us the whole time. So I felt like it kind of complemented us very nicely, and hopefully Shipwreck can put in the work for us. After that, I said, right, I got my hazard remover now. Let's start building let's try and get a couple of ones that can take advantage of the sun and the sand. Now, of course, I have been sniped throughout the draft, so I will talk about that, particularly later on. And I will talk about that at the end, but I had to draft this next Pokemon. And if you guys saw Season 1, and if you guys are a fan of this channel, you guys will know what this next Pokemon is more than likely going to be. And that is Solar Panel the Heliolisk, and he is back, ladies and gentlemen. There was no way I was not drafting Solar Panel again. He put in the finest of work for us in Season 1, and at times, he won games for us, and he nearly pulled off the sweep at the very end for us. In our playoff battle that we lost in Season 1. He's a huge threat, and his abilities make him perfect for dual weather. We have Dry Skin, Sandveil, and Solar Panel. We can run in any sort of weather, bar hail. We have a water immunity for the T-Tar and the Zard. We can run the Solar Panel to get the extra power boost off the drought. We can run the Sandveil then for the sand. It fits ideally on this team, and of course fast electric types are so good in draft league formats, because we can come in and we outspeed so many Pokemon, and we can hit them very hard with the Thunderbolt. Stat wise, it's just 2 main stats there that you guys will probably be interested in: the 109 base special attack and the 109 base speed. It hits relatively hard, and it's very fast, and that's what you really wanted. From your electric type. As well, on top of that, solar panel gets insane coverage. We get Grass Knot, Surf, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Hyper Voice, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse. Like those 7 moves right there, you can bring any single week and have fun with it. We also get Glare, which is awesome. We can paralyze Pokemon on the Switch if we see the Switch coming. The Hyper Voice is fantastic. We get Hyper Beam, which, you know, we might just bring for the fun of it 1 week if we're down and out. But we have awesome coverage with Heliolisk. And we do get a couple of physical moves, but his physical attack is so booty, we're not going to be kind of running that now, are we? The one weakness with Solar Panel, like, it is frail. Like, Heliolisk cannot take a hit at all, and it's very susceptible to the priority, particularly Mach Punch, because we're half normal, which isn't fun to deal with. But you know, we'll conquer that when we get there. The great thing about Solar Panel is that we do get Dark Pulse, so we can 1v1 Ghosts, which is fantastic to deal with. Doesn't mean that a Ghost can wall us. We do have coverage to be able to deal with that. So I was delighted we got Solar Panel, an old Wexford Wailord favourite. Jirachi was up here on the list of like Wexford Wailord's like icons and legends, but Solar Panel is just above him now at this point. This is the 3rd time I drafted him. Actually, sorry, the 4th time I've drafted him, and every time he just puts in the work. I think people just sleep on him. He just puts in the work for me. So particularly on this dual weather team, he's going to put in the finest. He's going to put in the finest. After that, we came to our 8th pick, and this 8th pick was nuts. So I was tossing and turning whether I should pick Solar Panel or this next pick in round 7, and I went for Solar Panel because the next pick is a water type, and there's loads of water types, particularly bulky water types, which always go well with draft teams. But we didn't go for a bulky water type because I saw this team and or this mon, and everybody forgot about him. Every single person had forgotten about this Pokemon, bar yours truly. And that Pokemon at round 8, it's Ponyboy the Keldeo. How Keldeo is not picked earlier than round 8 is beyond me. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Keldeo is an insanely powerful Pokemon. 129 base special attack, 108 base speed, water fighting coverage. We get Hydro Pump Scald, the Secret Sword. We get the Sacred Sword. I need to double check that. Make sure I know which one's which. We get Icy Wind. We get Calm Mind. Like Keldeo offensively is such a powerful Pokemon. It's a huge threat to teams. A couple of the really popular sets are the Choice Specs, the Choice Scarf, the Life Orb, the Sub Calm Mind set. An awful lot of great offensive presence here with Keldeo, and as well with our typing, it allows us to actually hit a lot of Pokemon either neutrally, as well as super effectively, but neutrally mostly. So we can bring Keldeo on a really good matchup for us. We can click Scald or something like that, get a burn on a switch, or make a prediction, hit someone very hard, go for a substitute, go for a Calm Mind. You see what I mean? Particularly with base 129 special attack, like people know Keldeo hits hard and they don't want to deal with it. I really don't know how we got this in round 8. I couldn't leave it going, particularly because I didn't have a fighting type either. So this kind of really added to my team, and I wanted a water type around round 7 and round 8 to finish off this fire, water, grass core that we managed to pick up. And for me, this is ideal. Keldeo is ideal. So Ponyboy, welcome to the Wexford Wailords. The other thing I want to mention, as well, is that Ponyboy isn't great with Psychic types, but we have T-Tar, which Pursuit traps Psychic types. So the likes of the Lati twins, who you kind of feel like they can kind of come in and deal with Keldeo very nicely, we can Pursuit trap them with T-Tar. Same with a few other different Psychic types that and Flying types that can kind of that can 1v1 Keldeo. We have T-Tar that kind of counters them very, very nicely. So Keldeo fits in so seamlessly with our team. I was shocked. I really was shocked, and I had to make the call to go for Solar Panel first because I felt he'd fit the Sun team better, and I had a feeling that if I didn't go for Keldeo around 7, it will not be snapped up because people have forgotten about him. A lot of people have drafted water types and they weren't looking at water types at all, and I still hadn't. And Keldeo, let's get it on, man. Let's get it on. I can't believe we got it. It's nuts. Anyways, round 9. I'm just going to drop right into it. Round 9, we picked up Barbarian the Drapion. And here's the reason why. I wanted a poison type to deal with fairies. I only had Jirachi that kind of wanted to come in and 1v1 fairies. And I didn't really have and I kind of wanted a poison type to help with that as well. And I'm not at the time the draft came around, because we were doing a slow draft. The time the draft came around, with this pick anyways, I should say, I was very much preoccupied, and the timer was coming down, and I was having a quick glance through the poison types on the board, and Drapion was still there, and I've used Drapion before. I know it can be pretty bulky, and it only has one weakness, with that being ground types. So I figured, you know something, let's scoop up the Drapion. It'll just work out very nicely for us. You know, it's only got one weakness, and at the time I thought, look, it'll be fine. You know, and sadly we do have a bit of a ground weakness now, because we have 4 Pokemon weak to it. We do kind of slightly patch it up later in the last 2 picks, but I kind of felt like, you know, Drapion would be a really nice pick to bring, just because there's one weakness, and it gets good coverage. We get decent poison type moves. We get knockoff. We get another pursuit trapper. We get toxic spikes. So we actually have the ability to hazard stack now with stealth rocks and toxic spikes, which I'm a big fan of. Always having that on your team, and we do get that poison type that I really wanted. And base 95 speed is not to be laughed at here. We bar the Tapu Koko, we outspeed all the other Tapus. I'm pretty sure. So that allows us to actually come in and click a cross poison or poison jab and really hurt someone, really hurt one of these fairies really badly. It's a really good Pokemon to help deal with Tapu Lele. It's nuts. This Poison Dark is like the only type that Tapu Lele can doesn't like dealing with. So we can bring in, say, an Assault Vest Drapion, deal with the Tapu Lele like that. We can bring a specially defensive one, and you know, whatever we feel like can work, we can bring that against the Tapu Lele, which for me is fantastic. I absolutely adore that. And as you can see stat-wise, we have the 110 base physical defense, the 90 base attack. We got good bulk, decent speed, and as for our speed here. So even though I'm kind of worried about our ground weakness, I figured like the Drapion, for all the pros that it brings us, we should be able to make it work, and we'll see how it goes on throughout the season. I'm glad that we have the utility that Drapion brings to the squad. So hopefully Barbarian can do the work for us. Right, round 10 came around, and I needed two things I wanted in my last 2 picks, and I wanted either a defog user, and I wanted priority. I needed a Pokemon that had priority, and I managed to pick up this Pokemon as our defog user, and that is Gligar. So Scorpia the Gligar is on the squad for season 2. The reason why I picked up the the Gligar, because we get a really good bit of bulk with the Evolite. So we using 105 base physical defense there. That basically becomes like one, it's somewhere between 150 and a base 150 and 160 defense, which is fantastic defense to have. And the the special defense boosts up to 130. So we get like a really nice bit of bulk despite the abysmal HP stat. We get a really nice bit of utility here with Gligar. We get the defog, we get toxic, we get sub, we get solar stance, we get rock polish, we get baton pass, we get knockoff, we get U-turn, we get earthquake, we get stone edge. An awful lot of nice little bit of coverage there that Gligar provides us. We get the hyper cutter, so our attack stat can't be dropped. We get the immunity, so we have a poison immunity now on the squad, which is very nice to have. And even though we're quad weak to ice, we don't have that many ice weaknesses on the team. Bar Delmice, we had nothing before this, so I was happy enough to be able to pick a Pokemon that was very weak to ice here, and gave us a ground immunity with us being getting that flying type. Not only that, if we lose the Evolite, we can bring acrobatics to help deal with that, and I think that would be really good to have, is the acrobatics. And we get feint to actually outspeed priority moves like Ice Shard that might want to come against the Gligar. On the off chance that that happens to us. So I'm very happy we got Scorpia. I think Gligar gives us that good bit of utility, and we get Roost. I totally forgot we get Roost. So we get reliable recovery. So we have a Pokemon that gets reliable recovery, and it can defog, and it's not weak to rocks as a defogger. So I was going through the list, and I was like, you know something, Gligar, you're my boy. So Scorpia, welcome to the squad, and hopefully you can put in the work. I have a feeling we'll use Gligar more often. Like a lot more regularly than other people who use their around 10 picks, and I'm happy that we managed to get a Pokemon like that useful so late on. Last but not least, the Pokemon that we wanted, that we drafted last for Season 2. As I said, I wanted priority, and there was a few Pokemon with priority still knocking about. Lucario, Medicham, not Mega was gone. The Medicham was still knocking about. Hariyama had priority, it was still there. There was a few Pokemon that had priority still knocking around. I didn't want to pick up any of them because I already had Jirachi as a Psychic type, and I didn't want to bring Medicham because of it. Yeah, I was tempted. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to bring Lucario, even though Lucario is fantastic and actually did go round 11, but how only went then is beyond me. But I didn't want to bring Lucario because it added another ground weakness, so I was like, no, can't do that. And then this Pokemon kind of just fell into my lap, and that Pokemon happens to be Bruiser the Girder. So it's another Evolite user. So we do have 2 Pokemon now weak to knock off, but we have essentially another Conkeldurr, a weaker form of Conkeldurr. And I was actually hoping, when I was looking for priority users at the end, I was kind of secretly hoping that that Conkeldurr was still there, but it wasn't. But having Girder there I was really happy with, especially with the Ovolite, because it now allows us to actually use Bulk Up. We do the Bulk Up set is actually very viable for us, because we get the Spadef boost with the Evolite without having to carry AV, so we can bring Bulk Up now on top of that. Pretty much, as I said, Girder is just another form of Conkeldurr. We get Guts, so if we get a stats condition, our attack stat goes through the roof. Sheer Force boosts our attack moves that has a secondary effect, and Iron Fist boosts our punching moves, which we have plenty of. The priority that we have is Mach Punch, so Mach Punch Iron Fist or Mach Punch Guts boosted was insanely powerful, particularly with the 105 base physical attack. I thought that was very, very nice to have. And then of course we have the coverage moves. We have the Drain Punch that can get us health back, as particularly seeing as how we're so slow, but we will have a little bit more bulk with the Evolite. We have Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Knock Off, which is fantastic. We get a really nice bit of coverage there with the Girder, and I feel like it's a Pokemon that we can bring to certain matchups, but not every week. But it's a Pokemon that people are going to have to prep for, because Conkeldurr is such a huge threat, but Girder, people will kind of sleep on a little bit, and I think we can catch a couple of people by surprise if they don't prep for that fully. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your Wexford Wailords team for Season 2 of the TDL. As I said, Jirachi is our Z captain, and you basically just went through, you basically just heard my thoughts on the whole draft and how it went for me. As I said, I'll talk about a few of the snipes that I got, or how I was sniped. There was 2 Pokemon I was really wanting to get through the draft. Landorus Incarnate was legal with the Sandforce, and that got sniped by me. I think it was around the Drapion. I picked up Drapion or Gligar. Landorus Incarnate went for me, and I didn't think anyone would go for Landorus because I was the only person bringing Sand, so I thought people would not bring that, but it went. So unfortunately for us, we don't get that. And the same person, this is no lie, the same person sniped Stoutland from me. So I wanted to get Stoutland because it has Sand Rush, and Choice Banded Stoutland with the Sand Rush we have used on this channel before. It's actually won us a league game on this channel before, so I was really wanted to draft that, but that didn't go last round. That went the second last round. So the round I picked up Gligar, 5 picks later or so, Stoutland went, and you can imagine my shock when I was like, oh no, sorry, it went the other way. It was like 5 picks before my second and last pick, Stoutland went, and you can imagine my shock, because I was always of the opinion, you know, I guess Stoutland last because no one's going to draft Stoutland, but no, it went, and those were the 2 big snipes for me. I didn't get overly sniped other than that. I got my Jirachi, I got my Heliolisk, which I really wanted. I got my first, I think, 8 picks are nuts. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, my first 8 picks. I'm very happy with that, and I think the last 3 picks bring a nice bit of utility to the team. So I'm very happy with it, and I cannot wait for Season 2 to start. I'm going to be bringing team building battles, team building videos for you on Saturdays, and I will be bringing the the battles for you guys on Sundays, provided of course the schedules don't clash overly and I can like with my opponent, and we can get the battle done before the Sunday deadline each week. Week 1 pretty much starts the day after this video is released, so it starts not the 20. Oh, what's it called? Let me double check. What date does this start on? The league starts on Monday, the 29th of May, and what's called deadlines for each week is on Sunday, and you will see what's called a week 1 battle roughly this time next week, and hopefully your Wexford Wailords can start off the season with a bang and pick up the W. And as I say every time I go into one of these draft leagues, the aim is always to make playoffs, and once we make playoffs, we will see where we go from there. So I'll wrap it up here today, you guys. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please click the like button down below for me. If you guys got any comments on today's video, be it good, bad, or indifferent, let me know in the comment section down below, including your thoughts on the draft that we picked. Let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like, let me know what you think might be kind of cool to see me bring once in a while, or something that I slept on, because I'm always interested to see those kind of things or read those kind of comments. And last one is, if you want to see more TDL action coming your way on this channel, or more Pokemon content in general, please smash that subscribe button down below for me. On that note, I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.